Hi, I'm Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. I'm also the podcast host of Invest in Her and an award-winning producer, author, and TEDx speaker. Our show, Invest in Her, features phenomenal female founders and funders. As you know, women receive less than 2% of venture capital funding. Our series is about accelerating the funding of women by connecting them to funding resources. Let's meet today's guest. Welcome to this week's edition of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. As you know, our show is always full of amazing information and incredible women. And today we're going to be talking about the power of credit. That's personal and business credit. And we are with the real queen of credit, the founder of Conquer Credit Management, Angela Setters Bessard. Hi, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me today. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here with you.
Thank you. Wow. And back at you. And, I know you have your own podcast. I want to talk about that for a minute because it's called Your Credit Today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And us podcasters, we like to stick together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I started that podcast about 12 years ago with the intention of really educating my clients. You have the touch time of being with clients, maybe, a couple of months, but you want to continue to educate them because this business grows and changes so much. And so I have such a passion for helping people understand that their credit is an investment tool to build wealth. And so what I like to do is just come on the airwaves once a week and talk about a different topic and talk about how someone can overcome an objective that they may have with their credit, or if they want to build their business credit so that they don't rely on their personal to build their business.
And what I love about you in particular is, first of all, you love what you do. You're so passionate about credit.
I am.
The other is, and not many people are living the dream. I love that you say you're living the dream because you're helping people every day. And, credit is one of those things people don't like to talk about.
Yes.
But the interesting thing is, and you share this in your bio and we've talked about this, is that I don't care who you are, the most successful business people, celebrities, like I know you have a real Rolodex of who's who that you've worked with. You probably can't say, but we'll just say that. A lot of people have this credit issue, no matter how much money they're making.
Yes.
There are people that make millions and they're in debt or whatever, And so I love that you love helping people with this. And there are so many people, and I bet it's the majority, that do need help with credit.
Yeah, I think what happens is, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately, we're human and things happen. We make mistakes.
Right.
Life happens.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm passionate about telling people is, listen, it's not about your mistakes. Let's just get over that and fix the problem.
Right.
And there have been so many people, whether it is that you're a multimillionaire or, you are a blue collar worker. The thing is that being educated and understanding how you can use your credit and win is the key. So many people have not been taught the tools that they need to know to be successful with finance or credit.
It's so fascinating that they do not teach this in school.
Well, they're starting to.
Are they? Oh
Absolutely.
my God, that's great.
Yeah. They're starting to do that. And as a matter of fact, I'm working on a curriculum. My mother-in-law is the president, she's the president of a historically Black university, in North Carolina. It's called St. Augustine's University, and she's very passionate about education and financial literacy. And so we are working right now on a platform where we can bring this literacy to people and to high school students. But I'm very passionate about teaching our youth because, they are the wave of the future, right?
Absolutely.
And right now, what's happening, especially right now, money is becoming digitized, right? So most of the young people nowadays, what they have their money on is their phone.
Right.
And
I heard in China, that's all they pay with. And so it's coming here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, in the younger generation, that's their Apple Wallet or their wallet on their phone is how they pay for things.
Right.
And I have 3 children. I have 2 older children and a younger child. And it's so interesting to me how my 11-year-old, everything is about digital.
Yeah. I have to say, even going to concerts, everything's in the wallet or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm forever going, didn't I print those tickets? Like, what did I do with those
yesterday.
tickets? The concert's tomorrow. How do I find those tickets? Oh, wait, maybe they're in my digital wallet.
Yes.
And then I look and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's hard to make that transition, right?
Well, it is. And the thing is that because things are digital, no matter how old you are, it's out of sight, out of mind. I tell this story all the time about me having a digital coffee app. And for a couple of months, I would go to the coffee store every day and I'd bring coffee into my staff because, I love helping people and I love
love coffee.
And I love coffee and I love making my staff happy because they are the reason for everything that I do. Yeah. And so my bookkeeper comes to me a couple months later and she's like, "Excuse me, who spent $400 at this coffee shop?" And I said, "No, there's no possible way." And she says, "Yeah, that's how much you spent." So I go to the app and I look and I'm like, oh my goodness, because all you do is scan.
Right.
You're not cognitive.
Oh, so that's going to be a problem for kids coming up that are
it's a
just
problem
doing digital.
now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a problem now. And
also credit cards. Everybody just slams it on the credit card and then at the end of the month goes, OMG, what did I spend?
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about too is having a plan. Yeah. Now that everything is digital, it's really important to have a plan. My family and I have a whiteboard in our home. And I say, listen, every time you spend something, it needs to go on the whiteboard.
Wow.
Because we want to be conscious about what it is that we're spending.
Right.
Otherwise, at the end of the month, you can end up with zilcho in the bank if you're not really paying attention.
And I would imagine that once you do that discipline of writing it on the whiteboard for a month or two, you kind of get the picture.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to keep doing it, or do you?
No, we do.
Yeah. You do? Wow.
Yeah, we've done it for years.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and it's created a discipline. It's so funny because yesterday we were at Universal Studios with some friends, and my 11-year-old, we're, going up to something. He's like, "Oh, my goodness, that's so expensive. I'm going to have to put that on the board." And, I was only allowed to spend X amount of dollars. And so by the end of, when we're getting to the end of the day, he's like, "I don't have any more money to spend." So I'm teaching him how to be conscious about his spending so that he understands that, you live off 50% if you can and save 50%, invest 50% of your money.
Right.
And I'm teaching him those principles now.
That is so awesome. We have grandchildren and that would be a wonderful thing. I always am saying that we should get them the app where they automatically save money or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love the whiteboard idea.
Yes.
Where they literally write down everything they're spending and they know, because you're so right. I think it's very few people that save 50% and or invest it. But the bottom line is you have to invest it to make more out of what you're bringing in, right?
Yes.
Because if you're just spending it, it's not growing, right?
Well, yeah.
So,
well, the thing is that
discipline.
Well, what happens is that in life, as we become an adult, we get older, we get better, we earn more money, is that traditionally people continue to spend more as they make more.
Yes.
And the idea really is, no, don't spend more because you're making more. Invest more.
Correct.
Because you're making more.
Yes.
And if you start with that mindset, then it will be easier to do that as you continue to grow with whatever it is that you're doing professionally.
And with children, like you're talking about, the sky is the limit. If they learn those disciplines early in life,
oh yeah,
then they are going to have a lot of wealth because they'll be taking what they're earning and investing a good part of it and watching it grow. And, and I have this movie coming out called Show Her the Money.
I know, that's so awesome. I'm so excited about it.
Me too. And it's about women taking a part of their portfolio and putting it in venture capital, which can be extremely lucrative.
Yes.
And women have never even really thought about it because they didn't even know about it. So we're trying to pull the curtain back on that because women want to be diversified. Not put everything just in real estate or just in bonds or just in stocks, but a diversification of those things, including venture capital, which has probably the greatest growth potential of all of those things.
Yes.
But, women do tend to be risk adverse. So, they say they hoard the cash and put it in bonds, and that's never going to grow very much. So, but I love that you talk about how credit impacts you personally and with your business. So we have a lot of business owners that tune in. So let's talk about that. Credit for your business, because I know this is your area of expertise as well.
Yes. Yeah. So what happens in business, especially when you become an entrepreneur, is unfortunately a lot of people build their business on their own back.
Yes.
I've even heard of people taking an equity loan out of their home to fund a business. And I say, no. Let's not do that. What's really important is to separate your credit assets. So your personal life is just that. It's your personal life, your personal wealth, your personal money. Your business is like another part of the family, okay? But it has nothing to do with your personal wealth or your personal financial business. It has to be separate. And when you take the opportunity to build your business credit, and let me just dial back a minute. So credit, like I said, is an investment tool to build wealth, all right? But in order to build that tool, you have to actually work the system. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is that when you're a business owner, there are 3 different companies that manage business credit. There's Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. And each of them have their own platform. Okay, banks and financial institutions are going to look at those platforms and see your history. And what happens with a lot of business owners is they don't put any stock into building what their business is doing.
So they're building their personal credit, but not their business credit.
Yes.
And so if we have a takeaway today, it's for people to look into one of those 3 and build their business credit.
Well, all 3 of those.
Oh, all
3. Okay. Yes. Just like us as people, we have all 3 agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and CBI Equifax, that manage our personal credit. Okay, there are 3 companies that manage business credit. The difference, though, with business credit is that we have a little bit more control of how things are viewed. So when you have vendors, for instance, and a lot of people will say, well, I don't have any vendors. Well, sure you do. How is it that you run your business? Do you go to the post office? Do you send FedEx? Do you buy office supplies? There's so many different things that we do as a business owner, but we don't report that information to our business credit so that when a bank goes to your business credit to look at your historical information, and there's nothing there, it's only because you haven't taken the opportunity to report that information. The other thing that business credit is looking for is it's looking for different events that have happened in your business. Have you grown? Do you have more employees? How have your numbers grown? Things of that nature. Yeah. Because when a bank goes to look at your business credit, they want to go and see that information, because at the end of the day, what credit is really about is about a financial institution looking at the risk that they're taking in your business.
Right. So many people out there maybe are starting their own business. And like you said, too many put it on their credit cards, borrow from family and friends is a popular way, which I guess, is that okay?
I mean, it's okay, but
better than on your credit card.
Right. Yeah. But when you can do it on your own at a low interest rate, okay, you're leveraging your position so that you can grow.
But now when you start a business, it's hard to you have to kind of build that track record to get that loan, right?
Yes.
So let's say friends and family help you don't go the way of putting it on your credit card, because that could put you in a lot of debt, right? You're saying from the get-go, they need to reach out to those 3 agencies and start to build the credit immediately.
Your profile.
As you're utilizing different vendors and creating a track record with them. Let's say you have a product, you're ordering that product. Are you paying the bill on time? This will help you build the credit, right?
Yeah. And the products, like the boxes you use, everything that you think about that it takes to work your business.
Yeah, the fulfillment company.
Absolutely. All of those things, a lot of those companies will actually give you a line of credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard Shopify gives people lines of credit.
There's so many companies.
Products use Shopify. So
Yeah. And even if you're starting a business, okay, let's talk about what's called a PG, personal guarantee. So in the first couple of years of you building your business, some banks or financial institutions will ask you to give a personal guarantee. And that means that you're backing a loan with your personal credit. But the thing is that after a couple of years of you building those strong algorithms with your business credit, eventually you've built such a strong profile that a new bank is going to look at that and be able to take a risk on your business by itself.
Interesting. Now, does someone have to have good personal credit in order to build the business credit?
If you're getting big loans, yes, because if they're going to ask you for a personal guarantee, they're going to look at your personal credit.
Right.
It's all about risk. So a bank or a financial institution that's going to give you money is going to look at the risk factors that you have. Are you a good credit risk?
Right. And so the first thing is build up your personal credit.
Yes.
To position yourself to build your business credit.
Yes.
Now, if somebody's listening and they're thinking, well, forget it, I don't have good personal credit, which I think a lot of people are in that boat, this is your girl.
Yes.
Angela Setters Bessard at Conquer Credit Management.
Yes.
You've been doing this for 30 years.
Yes.
You love it.
I love it.
You hold people by the hand. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big thing. I think a lot of people reach out to people in that arena and they're not compassionate. They're not helpful. They don't handhold. I think that's what really sets you apart, Angela.
Yeah.
You make people not feel bad about their credit. You're just like, hey, let's just get this done. Let's fix this.
Yes.
And that's why I think for so many years, so many people in all different arenas, celebrities and business successful people that come to you and they know that they're actually going to have a good time fixing their credit. Is that right?
That is right. Honestly, the industry that I'm in is kind of like a cowboy industry.
Yeah.
People are really interested in the numbers. And I've never been interested in that. What's always been my passion is helping people.
How do you fix it?
Yeah. And really at the end of the day, it's about the experience. And that's truly why I haven't had to spend a penny in advertising.
Yeah.
Because when people come to our company, they get the energy and the experience of, oh, these people really care. And so when they go and they tell someone about us, they're like, no. You don't understand. These people are going to hold your hand and they're going to tell you what it is that you need to do so that you can be successful in your life.
And help you to feel empowered at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
And, not for nothing, but, I'm a big proponent of doing business with women.
Yeah.
And I do think women have a different approach to every aspect of business, and it's no different with this credit.
Yes.
And I think that's why people find you a pleasure to work with.
Thank you.
And that you've been such a success over this 30 years and why you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, we all want to do business with people who love what they're doing. And I love that you said you're living the dream.
Yes, yeah. I'm definitely. Well, and just so you know a story and what helps to qualify me is that I've been on my own since I was 16. And when I was 18, unfortunately, I had to file bankruptcy.
Oh,
and
gosh.
So when I was going through that process, I vowed to myself that I would help anybody that was in front of me not have to endure the pain of that.
Wow.
And I really threw myself into understanding the financial world. And so as I was doing that, I was actually working for a bank. I got fired from that bank because I helped too many people. That's a long story.
That's a funny story.
It is a funny story. But my boss at the time, I'll never forget, through my tears of him letting me go, he said, I want you to know something, Angela. I know that you're going to help many, many people in your life because that's the person that you are.
Wow.
And I took that with me, and this is just who I am today.
And you know, the funny thing is so many people get let go from corporate America and go and start their own businesses.
Yes.
And it's always the blessing in disguise,
It
right?
is.
Because owning your own business is like the best, especially if you're doing what you really love and you're really good at.
Yes.
And so, you know, obviously I'm a big proponent of entrepreneurship. That's what we talk about every week. All these incredible women starting their own businesses. But I'm sure many of them out there need your help.
We need each other.
Yeah, need each other.
We need each other because the thing is that even though entrepreneurship is wonderful, it's hard.
It's hard.
And sometimes it can be lonely.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we need each other, because what we do is we are able to empower one another to continue on.
Yes.
You know, no matter what you may be going through, what you're enduring, as long as you get through it with other people as they're pushing you up the hill, you're just better for it. And it's really important that when someone gives you that energy, you give it back. Right. To the people that need it after you.
Yeah. And let's face it, everything in life is all about energy.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It is.
Oh, my goodness.
So how can people get a hold of you? Let's talk about the website. Obviously, you're on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on
and
LinkedIn.
Let's spell your name, because a lot of people, I see we just have the S up there, but they won't be watching. They'll just be listening. Mm-hmm. So it's Angela. And then on LinkedIn, is it?
It's Angela Setters Bessard, but I also have an Instagram now.
Okay.
It's called it's Real Credit Queen, and I'm constantly giving advice and trying to be just like the rest of them, funny or whatnot. But Real Credit Queen,
Real Credit Queen,
not it's just Real Credit Queen.
Real Credit Queen on Instagram. Love that, and your podcast.
And my podcast is Your Credit Today.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all these wonderful resources they could tap into.
Yeah.
And now they know how to get a hold of you.
Yes.
And on LinkedIn, it is Angela Setters Bessard, and that's Bessard. So be sure to check out Angela if you need help with your credit, or maybe know a friend that does. I actually have somebody I'm going to send your way.
Awesome.
And find her on Instagram, just Real Credit Queen. And of course, you can find me on Instagram as well, Catherine Gray, Invest in Her, of course. And you can visit our website, sheangelinvestors.com. We are also on social media. And of course, you can find us both, me and Angela, on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I hope you got some golden nuggets from Angela and that you reach out and connect with her. Make it a great week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.